this thing just supersedes every other Cyphastria that you look at.
It's like a chemtrail of color.
Exactly. This quite possibly could be the nicest I've ever seen. And I've seen hundreds of them over the last few years.
What did you award as the top coral at Aquashella Dallas 2024? Hey Reef Builders, my name is Remy and welcome back to another video. Close to 120,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support. If you could, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you know whenever we post new videos. We recently met up with a good friend of the channel, Mr. Chris Meckley from ACI Aquaculture at Aquashella Dallas 2024 to award the top 3 corals. This time we have actual trophies, and I gotta say a huge thanks to Chris, owner of Rhino's Reef, for all of your 3D printed goods in the reef keeping hobby. Chris can hook you up with that. Find his Instagram at Rhino's Reef. All right, let's head back to Aquashella Dallas. Hey Reef Builders, we are here at Aquashella Dallas 2024 with Mr. Chris Meckley from ACI Aquaculture.
How you doing, Remy?
We meet again.
We meet again.
We're gonna go inside and we're gonna find the top 3 corals at Aquashella Dallas. What are you looking for today?
Stuff that I have not seen in a long time, or stuff that I've never seen, of course.
Okay.
Just unique. It's gonna be fun, and I hope you all enjoy what we come up with.
Yeah, we've got something special for our vendors this year, so we're excited to give those out. Let's go inside.
Sounds good.
All right, we're here at our first booth at Aquashella, cherry corals, which is an awesome, like you guys have an awesome farm. Yeah. We're here with the 3rd pick at Aquashella, the bronze statue, and you've picked a Cyphastria, right?
It's a pretty wicked Cyphastria. I remember this coral when it came in. Don't remember where it went, but I know God's gonna tell you when he got it. It's a sweet coral.
Picked it up at MACNA in Fort Lauderdale in 2013.
So what makes this one so unique?
It's almost like the colors bleed from the polyp. The fact that you see the polyp and then you see kind of like this teardrop of color coming off of the polyp, kind of all going the same direction.
It's like a chemtrail of color.
Exactly. He said it best right there.
We're used to the color being centralized to each polyp, right? And this just like kind of weaves and bleeds, and it looks really cool.
We got plenty of other Cyphastries here, and this thing just supersedes every other Cyphastria that you look at.
Yeah. And
Cyphastria is an easy coral for beginners, for one, and it's not going to break your bank.
Exactly. This is 30 bucks.
Yeah.
I can't believe that Chris Meckley chose a $30 coral as the 3rd place. Todd, how does this grow for you in the farm?
So I grow them on 4-inch tiles. They're at about 70 to 80 par, Reef Brights and T5s, and I really don't pay any attention to it and just grow it out.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on pick number 3. All right, we are here at Underwater World, and I think people are used to seeing Rhodactis and all the Recordias and things like that, but your 2nd pick is something we don't really see too often in the hobby, right? But they deliver on color and the weirdest shapes, right?
Neglectas used to be, like, they called them Carl Granny mushrooms. They were green and purple for years, and then they started exploring and getting them in the deeper water, and they started finding these amazing specimens with rainbows of colors in them. This quite possibly could be the nicest Neglecta I've ever seen. And I've seen hundreds of them over the last few years. This could be a baby from this guy when they collected it and it was growing right next to it. They're both stunning pieces. Easy to care for. And you said you're giving it pretty good light.
220.
And how long do you have it?
I've had it for about 2 months.
2 months.
Yes.
And they are not fully open. Like when a Neglecta is happy, I mean, I've seen these things open up like almost like a giant cup mushroom, like an Amplexodiscus, yeah. Like 4 or 5 inches in diameter. And to see the yellow, the black, the orange, the green.
Have hobbyists been asking you about that one
Everybody
specifically?
asked me about them, but nobody knows what they are. I believe I even took that to restock. But
Really?
Yes, but it hadn't developed the colors yet.
It's gonna sell today.
It already did.
Oh, it did?
It's sold. Okay, well, you should have charged more.
I was talking about how I saw this Neglecta.
I have about 50 of them.
Nice.
So it's like, I have another one that's extremely nice. It's a little different, but it's very, very nice. It's just, I only have so much space.
Yeah. On the retail side of it, what do they sell for?
I sold that one for $100.
How much?
$100.
That's a good price.
Yeah.
It's
Because
a
nobody
fair
knows that
price.
I've had them. Like I said, Reef stock a few months and nobody wants them. So I'm like, okay, $100. But I'm hoping now people are like, oh, let's go get us some umbrella mushrooms. It's like that red one when I was going through. I think there was 1,000. There were only 2 red ones. I had that one and I've got another one that's a little smaller. But the red ones are just my favorite. I like the reds, but those 2 have really like,
Multicolor gets me. I like the
yes.
red too, but it's not, for me, I like to see the contrast.
Yes, yeah.
Well, congratulations on
thank you.
the Silver Meckley Award this year.
Yeah, congrats.
All right, thank you.
You may be asking yourselves, why are we back at cherry corals? And I feel like every time we record one of these, there's like a Chris Meckley first.
It is.
And this is going to be a Chris Meckley first in that cherry corals has the 3rd place and the 1st place,
Yes, he
right?
does. I haven't seen Todd at a show in a while, and I know when Todd comes, there's going to be some fire in there.
What did you award as the top coral at Aquashella Dallas 2024?
This Favites. And Todd, you talk about the Favites. You know more about it than I do.
We picked it up like 8 years ago.
8 years.
It's a slow grower, but it's worth the wait.
Usually the Favites that are from deeper water do grow so slow, but they always have the most badass colors.
Yes.
And I don't think I've ever seen that before. And I've seen a lot of freaking corals. I'm jealous that I've never seen that.
Well, I'm glad you're finally seeing it,
That's why I have to
and
have
I'm
trying
glad
to get
you're
the price
finally
down.
you're buying a coral from us for a change. So yeah, it's a pretty special moment.
What kind of conditions do you grow that under?
That one's under radions. It is under lower light to get that color, so the power tops out at like 60.
Wow.
That's easy. I have so many different areas in my systems, and I've got super high light in the same tank, and then all this super low light over in the corners. I know exactly where it's going to go, and I'm going to be doing progression shots for you.
I'm hoping,
So
you grow it twice as fast as I do, so I can.
I
buy
hope
it
so
back.
too, so I can tell you what I do different.
Yes.
And you can grow it faster, because it sounds like you've only sold dozens of frags versus hundreds of frags.
Yeah, probably just a dozen or so. Yeah.
Hundreds, dozens.
Correct. Yes.
So I think what's always a telltale sign to me that a coral is super unique and super hot is when another vendor buys a piece.
Oh yeah.
Top Shelf Aquatics actually
Bought the piece that
a
I
larger piece.
really liked.
Yeah.
So now the B-roll is going to come out of their booth.
Congratulations.
Yeah, man.
You did it.
I
Congrats.
hope you're in Aquashella, Daytona, and Chicago, so that
Well, we are going to be in Chicago for sure. And then
bring me something else.
Bring the heat.
Bring the heat.
About Daytona.
We want to see the heat in Chicago.
Well, thank you
Congrats,
guys for being here. Good to see you, and congrats.
Always great seeing you guys.
I think you've made some good picks this year.
I do too.
Yeah. Favites took the #1 spot
Yeah.
with the, was it Meltdown?
Meltdown.
And Neglecta.
Todd Sherry's Meltdown Favites.
Yes. The Neglecta mushroom in 2nd place, and then that beautiful Cyphastria.
That Cyphastria, I remember that Cyphastria many years ago importing it, and people still are growing it, is amazing.
They saw the awards this year, so I will say this. Vendors, if you're watching this and you know that Chris and I are gonna be at a show together, you could get your own customized trophy of coral. Well, Chris, thanks for
Hey,
joining.
Thanks, man. I'll do
Appreciate
this
it.
every show.
You got it.
All the time.
You got it. Thank you. Okay, so out of the top 3 picks, I'm curious, which one was your favorite? Leave a note down in the comment section below. Maybe you saw something that you thought was better at Aquashella Dallas. Again, let us know in the comment section below. I want to thank Chris Meckley from ACI Aquaculture for going around and picking those top 3 corals. Also, all the vendors. Thank you for letting us invade your space for a little bit. Like I said, vendors, if you know that Chris and I are going to be at a show, bring your best stuff. We want to see some cool and unique corals. I think the next show we'll both be at is Aquashella Chicago. I think that's the first week of August. And then, of course, we will be at Reef Stock Chattanooga. And if you do not have your tickets for Reef Stock, make sure to get those now at reefstock.show/Chattanooga. Again, thank you to Rhinos Reef or Chris, who made those 3D printed trophies. I think we're gonna iterate them a little bit and make them even cooler for the next show. Again, for all your 3D printed needs, Rhinos Reef on Instagram. You can find them right there. And thank you for joining. We'll see you in the next one.